Guys ready?
Yep.
All right, well, great to be back outside on the grass. Beautiful day for football, and guys did a good job. There's a lot of guys running around. A lot of guys got their first day of college football in today. It's good to see Micah Crowell playing again, coming back from his injury. Chase Hatley out there playing for the first time. So, Zion Reeves, some guys that didn't play last year that were on the team, and then our mid-year guys that are here, getting them out there. And then like you'd expect, seeing Devin Leary throw the ball to Devin Carter and seeing how that looks. Grant Gibson, the communication on the O-line, defense, having all these guys back. So it was a great first day. Obviously, we're not hitting yet, but the install was pretty clean.
Were you pleased with how fast the guys were moving because on the first day?
Yeah, I think some of it's good. We're in different phases. You have the older players where you're criticizing them for a 1-inch false step because that's where they're at. And then you have the younger guys that have no idea what they're doing, and it's analysis by paralysis by analysis for them. And so, you're coaching guys that are in different parts of their career right now on day one, and some of them, like Devin Carter is a great example, Shy Battle, they're out there in their fourth spring ball, so things are routine, they're flying around, they're in great shape. And then you have the young guys like, what period is it? Where am I going? What did he say? So you're coaching all of it, and so you can't really give the team a grade because you got guys in different places on that.
You mentioned Micah Crowell and Chase Hatley, both of them switching positions now at this point. How receptive were they to that, and what was the thought process going behind that?
Both of them were open to it. I think that, like most people, they want to play. They've seen what's happened here with their bodies. They're filled out. They're both big kids that have filled in nicely, and it gives them a better opportunity, with the frame that they have to play in that role and do things for us earlier in their career because of that.
How do you go about managing the expectations day one and kind of get these guys to understand that this specific team hasn't actually accomplished anything yet?
Yeah, I think every team's that way, and for us, it's more about postseason, people talking about our next season like that, and it's just a different mindset as far as coming back. You just can't be complacent. You have to remember, we didn't win the ACC. We had a really good season. A lot of those guys are back, but they want to be better than they were, and so they carry that chip on their shoulder, particularly with how our season finished. There's a lot of big chip on our shoulder to get back on the grass and play again.
Speaking specifically of the skill positions, are you looking forward to the competition that's going to be taking place there to see who can be that number one guy at this position and that position?
Yeah, at every position. It's not just who's going to win the starting job. You're looking at who's in, if the starter's not, because as we all know, you're only guaranteed the next play, and then you don't know what's going to happen. Every day you're out here as a football player, you're one play away from being out. And so we have to get the next center ready, get the next quarterback ready, the next this. And then there's positions that are open, and so you're excited to see what's going to happen with the battle. And as you mentioned, the skill spots where there's Ickey leaving, and see how that takes over and how it progresses with Thayer and Porter in there at the same time.
Bryson has been your Swiss Army knife.
Speeds?
What has gone into him at left tackle, and would McKay get a look there too, or is this basically Bryson's job to lose?
No, I think, Coach Garrison's always cross-trained guys that are capable and getting Speeds at that position so he can play it. If Tim ends up there some, I wouldn't be surprised. Anthony Belton you'll see there, Pat Matton. So you got to get guys reps, and this is the best time, to let them compete against good defensive linemen and see what they're, I guess you'd say your best five, and try to get them enough reps in different spots to see that.
A lot of redshirt, a lot of freshman receivers, DBs, a lot of linemen. What have you kind of seen from them as they get in their stage of their careers where they actually get to play now?
Redshirting guys helps them a lot in a lot of ways. I think the maturity aspect, the ability to get in that weight room, get confident in your body, to go out there and compete against a 22-year-old guy at times. It's hard as an 18-year-old, physically, mentally, emotionally, time management. So the redshirt year, I think, is really good for their personal growth. It's hard for me to say how I have seen them progress until we get pads on and start playing, but body-wise, seen them progress quite a bit.
A lot has been made of all the players who came back, but it's a big deal that for the second straight year, all the coaches are back. Yeah. How big is that for the program and moving forward? Being
I think continuity is really important. These guys trust who's coaching them. They have relationships built. There's time invested from player to coach to player. these coaches have recruited these guys into their rooms, you know, and I think all that plays into it. And, you know, it'd be great if these guys left to be head coaches someday, right? And I would be fired up for them, but until that happens, we want to keep these guys together. It's a great staff. We have great chemistry together. Our wives have great chemistry together. It's a family. And so, you know, I really am blessed to work with who I do. I think that's one of the things you guys would all agree with when you walk in the office and see coworkers that are also people you respect. They're great family men. You know, they do things the right way. It makes work different. It's not the same as work. You know, you get a lot of pride and joy out of going in there and seeing these guys every day.
Darryl Jones, what kind of went into thinking, bringing him on board?
You know, just trying to gap the youth of our receiver room and the age of our receiver room. Obviously, with Thayer coming back and DC coming back, and Porter has played, you got 3 guys with experience. Everyone else is young. And so just getting one more older guy, losing C.J. Riley and Emeka, we felt like would help that room.
How do you approach the running back position with the 2 guys you lost that were so key to you?
Yeah, we just got to get them reps. You know, we trust Jordan and Delbert, DeMarcus. Those 3 guys have been here. We know what they're going to do, and now it's time to see what the 2 freshmen can do and get them in the mix. So it'll be those 5 that we ride with, and obviously in 14 days I'll have a better picture of 14 practices of where we're at.
When you think back to Ickey at Providence Day, you know, what has this journey been like to now be a top 5, maybe number 1 pick?
Yeah, I see Mel Kiper come out yesterday. Obviously I have great respect for him, and one of the guys that knows the draft as well as anybody to pick him as the first overall it's a great honor, you know, and I know that the combine and pro day and all these things, the interviews are going to take part in this and can shake things up, but Ickey deserves all the recognition he's getting. He's a tremendous football player, he's a tremendous human being, and you know, I remember first time he walked in that building with his dad, you know, and seeing him, and I remember seeing him play live in a game and miss him, you know, not having him on that field, man. That he's a guy that changes the temperature of the room, you know, he's got tremendous energy.
Does this feel more normal? You know, we got all of us around here. I mean, does it feel kind of back to normal a little bit more? You know, since the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think, you know, other than the mask wearing you have to do in some places, things are pretty much back to normal. People seem to have, you know, kind of settled in on what life is and treating it a little bit more like the common cold, I guess you'd say, is what you're seeing. But yeah, definitely normalizing.
If everyone's back on defense healthy, you know, cross your fingers, all that good stuff. Is there a particular spot, maybe cornerback, where you like to see a little more depth emerge this spring, or you feel pretty good about what the defense could be?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm excited to see Tayshaun Smith come back now. You know, he's been out for a while and played a little bit last year, but he's an experienced player that hasn't been healthy, and so to get him, you know, physically and mentally back out there would be big. You know, seeing the progression of Nate Evans at corner, looking forward to seeing that. And obviously I want to see Shai and Derek compete and get better, you know, and work on